After 60, female behaviors that men find dangerously seductive. 80% men admit. There's a certain kind of woman older men never try to control because they're too busy trying not to lose her. This has nothing to do with games, manipulation, or youthful beauty. It's about something far more disarming to a man, a woman after 60, who has built an inner kingdom he cannot enter without invitation, whose feminine energy flows from completeness, not need. Most advice still tells older women to be agreeable, available, to soften their edges until they fit neatly into a man's life. But men aren't afraid of beauty, age, or imperfection. They fear the woman who doesn't need to be chosen. She carries a quiet confidence that doesn't announce itself, but radiates like warmth from dying embers felt long before it's seen. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. In today's video, I'll share you 5 behaviors that make certain women dangerously seductive. These are the subtle seduction patterns of women who've learned that true feminine power doesn't chase attention. It commands presence simply by existing in wholeness. Before we start, if you want more honest insights about love, dating, and relationships after 60, the kind that only life experience can teach, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. This isn't just about information. It's about building a community of mature women who understand that real attraction comes from self-awareness and emotional boundaries. Let's begin with what truly sets her apart, the subtle force that keeps him leaning in. 1. The hidden power of unpredictability. What makes a woman dangerously magnetic after 60 isn't mystery, it's unpredictability. She doesn't perform to please or follow a script. She moves from instinct, from truth, from the raw pulse of who she really is, and that's what keeps everyone guessing. This is where attraction psychology gets interesting. Predictability feels safe to the conscious mind, but to the deeper layers of male desire psychology, it's the silent killer of polarity. When a man can predict every response, every mood, every decision, something fundamental dies. The electric uncertainty that keeps emotional connection alive. Real magnetic woman energy lives in surprise, not because she's playing games, but because she's genuinely connected to her own shifting tides of feeling, intuition, and self-respect. There's a woman I used to see at my book club. Her name was Scarlett, and she embodied this truth completely. Sometimes, when her partner, he invited her out, she'd light up with enthusiasm and say yes immediately. Other times, she'd pause, check in with herself, and say, "I'm feeling quiet tonight. Let's do it another time." She wasn't strategizing. She wasn't withholding to create tension. She was simply honoring what was true for her, and that honesty carried a feminine wisdom he couldn't predict or control. Here's what happens in a man's psychology when he encounters this. He can't own what doesn't depend on him. The woman who always says yes becomes a sure thing, and the human mind, especially the masculine mind, oriented toward challenge and pursuit, loses interest in sure things. But the woman who responds from genuine emotional depth, who brings that quality of graceful presence to every interaction, keeps him leaning forward because he never quite knows which version of her richness he'll encounter next. She becomes the embodiment of mystery and presence, not manufactured, but lived. After 60, when you've lived long enough to stop performing and start being, your unpredictability becomes a reflection of your aliveness. Men don't just desire this, they become slightly addicted to it. Because in a world of rehearsed responses and careful image management, a woman who is genuinely, spontaneously herself feels like oxygen in a room that's been holding its breath. The most attractive souls are not those who remain constant in their moods, but those whose emotional honesty flows like water, sometimes still, sometimes rushing, always true to the landscape of the moment. But unpredictability alone doesn't complete the picture of powerful feminine energy. It's what she fundamentally represents that makes him restless, and that leads us to the second behavior. 2. The Queen versus the safe harbor. What if I told you that the kind of woman who creates dangerous seduction isn't a safe harbor at all, but the open sea? The safe harbor woman is stable, kind, nurturing, predictable. She provides comfort, security, a place to rest. She says yes reliably, accommodates his schedule, smooths over conflicts, and makes his life easier. There's genuine value here, don't misunderstand me. But here's the paradox of attraction psychology. Men's logic seeks comfort, but their instinct seeks vitality. Their conscious mind wants peace, but their deeper self craves aliveness, challenge, and emotional magnetism. Then there's the Queen energy woman. She's calm, yes, but not because she's suppressing herself, because she's complete. She's free in the truest sense, emotionally independent, uncontainable, flowing with her own tides. She has boundaries in relationships that protect her inner radiance, and she doesn't reshape herself to fit anyone's expectations. Being with her feels less like arriving home and more like embarking on a journey where the destination keeps shifting in the most intriguing ways. Here's the uncomfortable truth I've observed across decades. He may rest in the harbor, but he dreams of the sea. The harbor woman gets his gratitude, sometimes even his commitment, but the Queen gets his fascination. She gets the part of him that wakes up fully, pays attention, rises to meet her level. This isn't about being difficult or withholding. It's about embodying a confident woman energy that signals, I am not here to complete you. I am here to dance with you as an equal, and only if you can match my emotional maturity. After 60, this becomes even more potent because you're no longer trying to prove anything. The Queen energy after 60 isn't about performance, it's about presence. It's about having lived enough life to know that you are the adventure, and any man who joins you is privileged to witness the fullness of who you've become. Simone de Beauvoir understood this when she wrote, "One is not born, but rather becomes a woman." And becoming a queen, a woman who embodies both calm and vitality, is the work of a lifetime that reaches its fullest expression after 60. You can share this video with your friends or women's groups who might need this reminder too. You never know who's quietly forgetting her own power, and a simple share could help her remember the queen she's always been. But what sustains this magnetic quality isn't just unpredictability or queen energy alone. It's something even more fundamental: how clearly and elegantly she protects her peace. 3. The art of boundaries, elegance and firmness. Her allure doesn't come from trying to be wanted. It comes from knowing when to step back from the quiet confidence of boundaries that protect her peace and amplify her presence. Boundaries create polarity. When a man encounters a woman with no boundaries, he experiences no resistance. And without resistance, there's no tension. Without tension, there's no charge. But when a man hits a boundary, a calm, firm no, delivered without anger or explanation, something in him wakes up. Suddenly, she has definition. Suddenly, she's not infinitely available, infinitely accommodating. Suddenly, she has value that he must respect to access. My friend Marianne learned this the hard way. A man she was seeing canceled plans last minute, expecting her to simply adjust. The old Marianne would have smiled, said, "No problem," and quietly felt disappointed. But this time she replied, "No worries at all. I'm actually busy the next couple of weeks, but I'll let you know when I have time again." No passive aggression, no guilt trip, just quiet authority. And in that moment, everything shifted. He realized her time wasn't infinitely available. He realized that if he wanted to keep her, he had to show up differently. That's the essence of feminine power after 60. Knowing your worth isn't negotiable, and no longer teaching grown men how to respect it. Boundaries aren't punishments, they're information. They say, "This is how you treat something precious. This is the standard. Meet it or move on." What makes this seductive dangerously so is the calmness with which it's delivered. There's no drama, no ego wounded and lashing out, just graceful presence and an unshakable sense of self-worth and confidence that makes a man realize he's not dealing with someone who needs him to validate her. He's dealing with someone who's already chosen herself, and now he has to earn the choice to be let in. Boundaries in relationships don't push men away. They teach men how to stay. The wrong men, the ones who were only there for easy access, will leave. And that's exactly the point. The right man, the one with emotional maturity and authentic connection capacity, will lean in with newfound respect, because he finally understands he's in the presence of a woman who knows her value. As Brené Brown wisely observed, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. And it's precisely that courage that transforms a woman from merely attractive to dangerously irresistible. Have you ever set a clear boundary in a relationship and watched how it completely transformed the way a man treated you? Share your experiences, insights, or reflections in the comments below. I believe your story will inspire many other women in this community. Now, let's talk about what happens when a woman truly owns her boundaries. When respect becomes the foundation of everything. 4. From liking to admiration. There's a quiet turning point in every connection. The moment when simple liking matures into something deeper and steadier. Admiration. Respect isn't a bonus ingredient in desire. It's the oxygen that keeps it alive. Without respect, attraction can spark, but it can't sustain. It burns out before it ever becomes love. Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." And when a woman embodies that truth, admiration follows naturally, not because she chases it, but because she radiates it. Men may like what's easy, the woman who's always available, agreeable, accommodating, but they admire what demands integrity. They admire the woman who stands in her truth, even when it's inconvenient, who holds her emotional ground even when he tests it. Admiration is the bridge between fleeting attraction and lasting connection, built on one foundation: the awareness that she lives by inner laws he cannot bend. He likes the agreeable woman, but admires the assertive one. He likes beauty, but admires authenticity, the quiet glow that comes from decades of choosing herself over performance. A man may flirt with many, enjoy the company of several, but he only bows his ego to one, the woman who never diminishes herself to secure his attention, whose calm strength invites him to rise or retreat. After 60, this becomes even more powerful. You no longer crave to be chosen. You've become the chooser. Your presence carries the depth of a life lived fully, and that depth commands admiration without effort. When a man admires you, his energy changes. He stops evaluating and starts aspiring. He no longer asks, Is she right for me? But am I worthy of her? And that inner shift, that silent reverence, is where true feminine power begins. And that's the turning point when admiration no longer feels like a reward, but a reflection of the peace you've built within yourself. From here, you stop reaching outward and begin rising inward into the quiet power of a woman who has become her own home. 5. Becoming the queen, the inner kingdom. Becoming a woman so complete that only the extraordinary can stay. The goal isn't to find the perfect man through clever tactics of subtle seduction. The goal is to become a woman anchored so deeply in purpose, independence, joyful solitude, and personal integrity that you no longer chase, you choose. Consider the woman who, after loss or divorce, doesn't chase love but rebuilds her life with purpose. She travels where her heart feels alive, gives her time to what matters, surrounds herself with people who nourish her spirit, and fills her days with meaning. She isn't waiting to be completed, she already is. So when asked about dating again, she smiles and says, "Only if someone can match the peace I've built. I'm not seeking completion. I'm open to someone rare enough to complement it." That's queen energy in its purest form. That's the feminine power that makes a man realize he's not dealing with someone who needs rescuing, managing, or fixing. He's dealing with someone who's already built an inner kingdom. And entry is by invitation only. An invitation earned through respect, emotional maturity, and the capacity for authentic connection. The moment you need no one, you become magnetic to everyone. The moment you stop seeking validation, you radiate mystery and presence that draws people in. This isn't a strategy, it's a natural law of emotional magnetism. Desperation repels, wholeness attracts. And after 60, when you've accumulated enough life experience to finally choose yourself first, you step into a level of irresistible traits that no amount of youth or beauty can replicate. Raise your life so high through hobbies that bring joy, relationships that nourish, purposes that give meaning, and boundaries in relationships that protect your peace. That love becomes a privilege, not a rescue. Make your emotional intelligence and self-worth and confidence so unshakable that only someone operating at your level can even access your world. This is how you become dangerously seductive after 60, not by chasing, but by becoming so fully yourself that the right person has no choice but to notice, respect, and rise to meet you. As Anais Nin wrote in her diary, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. After 60, you've already taken that risk. You've already blossomed. Now you simply exist in your full glory, and the right person will recognize the garden you've become." If you want to remember these insights and revisit them whenever you need a reminder of your true value, save this video right now. These aren't lessons from textbooks, they come from life itself. And they can completely transform how you see yourself and your relationships. By now, you understand that true seduction doesn't lie in appearance or strategy. It lies in the energy of a woman who no longer seeks approval. After 60, this is the golden time to embody this kind of attraction, because you no longer need to prove anything. You've lived long enough to know that your value doesn't depend on whether someone chooses you or not. You've experienced enough to understand that the most dangerously seductive woman isn't the wild or loud one. She's the one who's centered, whole within herself. Because peace in a woman feels like gravity to a man who's spent a lifetime chasing noise. Do you feel like you've ever sacrificed your own boundaries just to keep someone around? And now looking back, you realize it was never worth it? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. If this spoke to you, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to this channel. It helps more women find these conversations about love, strength, and self-worth after 60. Visit the channel to discover many more fascinating videos about love, dating, and marriage in the most mature phase of life. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching till now, and see you in the next video.